alongside it.
Could I put you on the spot and ask you to maybe give us some 10 minutes of coaching for people who would love to know more about what you do and how you do it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You got the stage. You got some very hungry, amazing entrepreneurs. So there you go.
Yeah. Are you all doing a lot of things online?
Yeah. A lot of them from Amazon to I just coaching Stacey tonight to do a blog. They don't realize how easy, affiliate money is kind of interesting. I started doing a little bit of Russell's. I love ClickFunnels, so I started promoting his book, and I started doing some Amazon.
Got my shirt on.
Oh, there you go. Funnel Hacker.
Yeah.
I need to promote my daughter's podcast with him.
Mm-hmm.
You need to understand that money can be found everywhere. So if you can just and you can talk to them, and they'll talk to you. Most of them actually have those skills.
Yeah. So my throat actually hurts right now because I just finished an hour-long training that I'm using as a lead magnet. So what I was doing for the past 3 years, I was doing free Instagram marketing strategies, where I was just basically building my followers and interacting with other accounts and getting them to click the link in my bio. And for years, that was working really well for me. Like I said to Forbes, I'm building things back up because right now with Instagram, they're not liking what I'm doing. So I'm getting into paid traffic. And for that paid traffic, in order to get people to when you've got an ad out there and you're getting somebody to click on your link, you've got to give them a reason why they should click. So basically what I just got done with and why my throat's hurting a bit is because I just got done with an hour-long training. I shot it straight through, and I didn't even have to. I don't know why I did that. And it was about really simplifying online business to people, because what I'm seeing, I was working with Nicole, I've worked with hundreds of people online. And what I see all the time is that people are picking up bits and pieces of online business here and there. They don't really, there's no college you can go to where you can get every single bit of information that you need so that you can succeed online. So what happens is people either have a mentor who gives them as much as they can, or they try to figure things out for themselves. And that's how I started online, was I would pick up a training here, a training there, one on branding, one on getting free Facebook traffic, one on email marketing, on copywriting, on selling. You buy a book, you buy a training, and you keep buying all of these random things, and you're trying to put all of these pieces together. And it's a really, really difficult way to get the education that you need, the knowledge, and to build the skills that it takes to succeed online. And I believe that that's one of the biggest reasons why people, 97% of people, never make over $100 online, something ridiculous. And like Forbes just said, it's not that hard. There's this flow to online business that I just did my training on. And if you understand the flow, you'll know where you can put your attention on. You'll know what trainings you need to start with, and you won't be all over the place buying things from all these different people, and just scattered and sporadic. That is not how you should build your business. And that's what I struggled with for the first 2 years in my business until I met up with my mentor who gave me the trainings I needed. But for anybody, if you're just trying to get started online, it's important that you put your attention on the beginning stages of a business. If you're trying to do online business, you need traffic, right? You can't get leads, you can't get sales if you don't have any traffic. So what happens though is people will create lead magnets, I'm making this training, but people will create ebooks and they'll have this whole website and they'll have their email autoresponder series, and they'll be putting so much time and energy into all of these things, and they don't even have any traffic. So what my training was just about, if you're not doing this, if you're not getting this, you need to do this. So you need to focus on traffic first. Once you're getting traffic from a social media platform where you know that your target market is at, then you can start to get more and more traffic, and you can start to promote the things that you want to promote, via a funnel, ClickFunnels. I don't know if somebody was trying to ask a question there, but I literally just spent an hour making this training. I'm going to be using it as a lead magnet if Forbes wants. Once I'm done with my ClickFunnels, I am happy to give it to anybody who wants it. It's free. But for anybody who's working online, like if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them as well. But it would take me an hour to explain what I just explained on that training.
I just started posting on Instagram like 3 times a day, and great advice from my mentor Forbes. So she told me last week, start posting 3 times a day. So now I am. And I noticed you get people on Instagram, then they drop off. They follow you and then they drop off. So it's like a game. It's like back and forth. You know, you get up to 900 and the 800. And I don't understand that, to be honest with you. And I'm just trying to build my audience now.
Okay. What are you doing? So like do you have one account?
One account.
Okay. And then what are you doing to get your followers up to where it's at now?
I'm just posting things about my product. I sell, it's called Boobalicious, and it's an all-natural breast deodorant for boob sweat, because there is boob sweat. So I
wouldn't know anything about it, but yeah.
But it's a true story. So
I believe it.
So now I'm trying to do anything with that theme, you know, putting up pictures of my product, putting up quotes, you know, like today I put up flowers and I said, have a boob a full day instead of a full day. So like that. I
know that I've seen it before, because some of my Instagram accounts are like the parenting niche, because I'm a stay-at-home dad, work-from-home dad. So, you know, I've looked at those accounts and I've interacted with those accounts with like parent accounts. There's all these mother accounts, like whether it's breastfeeding, like, have you seen those on Instagram? And it's just like pictures of women and their kids. So one simple thing to do is to just go on Google and to just like search like best parenting Instagram accounts, or best mom parent. Like you can just go on. It's like super simple. So if you go into Instagram, I'm sorry if you hear that. I have a ferret over there and she's drinking out of her water bottle. I don't know if my microphone's picking that up, but it's kind of loud here. So you can do like.
So I apologize. You broke up a little bit, so I got the Google, but how does that relate to the Instagram and how to get start following those Instagram accounts?
Well, you want to, if you're seeing somebody else have success online and they're in the similar niche, right? These people who are running parenting accounts, women's accounts with like women and babies and breastfeeding, all these things, like these movements that people have, if they're getting a large following and if they're getting interaction and engagement on their pictures, what they're doing works. So all you have to do is model what they're what they're doing. You're not going to take their stuff, but there's no need to like do some sort of guessing game of like adding like random quotes, or, you know, you don't want to be all over the place. You want to pick your niche, you know what you're selling. So then you therefore can also know who are the people who buy your product. And then you want to think, those people who would buy my product, what other Instagram pages are they following and interacting with? Find those pages and see what those pages are doing. You can start to emulate that. And those people will naturally, it makes total sense. They're going to be attracted to what you're doing as well. And what you do, like I said, I've been doing free Instagram. So I would travel. I'd have the work at home dad thing, and I'd have travel accounts and stuff like that. So it's basically me, right? I'm showing people me. This is what I'm passionate about. And then I'd help people work online so that they can do it for themselves, because it's great. And all that you do is Instagram's very visual, right? And quotes are great and stuff, but what you're trying to sell is not a quote really type thing. That's not really the focus. So it's a visual thing, and people, you got to captivate them with a picture, right? So they're scrolling and they see it, captivate them with a picture. And then what's important is when you've got your caption, that first sentence of your caption, try to say something or do something, whether it's maybe even with emojis. Like I do a lot of storytelling. So in my story, I'll put something that's captivating as that first sentence. So they see a picture of me, for instance, in like Bali, Indonesia, something beautiful, right? So they're like, ooh, I love it. People on Instagram love that stuff. And then they start reading the caption and I hook them in. I hook them in with maybe a super powerful question. Maybe I say something that normal people wouldn't say. You know, maybe I compliment them or something and I don't even know them. It doesn't matter. I can bring them through a story, and then I can bring up certain emotions that I want to bring up. You know, this is just basic marketing. And then you give a call to action at the end. So you bridge it. So you've got a hook, some sort of story. For instance, this is just an example. And then you can bridge that story to a call to action. So if I write a story, if I, like off the top of my head, if I take a picture of me on vacation and it's just something beautiful, I can hook them in and I could be like, this is what happened to me. 3 years ago, I got fired from my job. Okay. I hated my job. And when I was working my job, I worked my job for 2 years trying to replace my income working online, and I was struggling. So I can go into this whole hook and then this whole story about working online, and then I can bridge it and just very easily say, like, I've been working online full time for 3 years now, and I've been showing other people how to do it because I'm not in online business just to run an online business anymore, right? I got free. I do what I want with my time now. It's fantastic. I moved into a higher purpose for myself. My biggest passion, the reason why I'm waking up, is to help other people break free. Nicole probably read a caption like this, like I'm saying right now. Yeah, and I hooked her in, and it's because I want to help people. And I said, you know, I was like, if you are serious, if you are driven, if you are coachable, I want you to click the link in my bio right now, because I will show you how you can begin to learn how to work for yourself online. And we can make this happen if we're going to be a good fit to work with one another. They click the link in my bio, they get brought through a sales process, they put in their contact information and everything. So I've got Nicole as a lead, and that's it, you know.
Well, thank you so much. That was great information. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. And that's, you know, whether it's traveling, whether it's parenting, no matter what it is. I mean, it's the same thing. If you're on Instagram, you're captivating people. People are scrolling. Just think, they've got their phones in their hands. They're scrolling so fast, you know, they're just blah, 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 liking this, scrolling past it, liking this. So you've got to do something to stand out and to capture their attention, or else they're gone, you know?
Well, David, you turned out to be quite the amazing tutor. Thank you so much for that. What is there anything that we can do to help you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what specialties you all have.
Well, where do you live?
No.
Where do you live?
Well, I live near Hershey, Pennsylvania still.
Oh, you do now. Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'll ask you a question. What's your first memory in life?
Probably like playing it, like when I was in like an old house in I think it's like Homelesstown, Pennsylvania, and I think I remember like playing with like this weird push toy lawnmower. I couldn't even tell you how old I was.
What decision does a little boy make about life based on that memory?
I think that life is just fun. That life's good.
And so, Nicole, you know him. How does that play out for him? Is life just fun for David?
Yes. I was drawn to his energy. He had this free spirit. He was dedicated to freeing himself from, I was inspired by his story. He worked in a pizza shop. It was similar to mine, where he got his college degree, and it landed him in a dead-end job, and he hated it. He just hated it, and I hated mine. And that's what got me into affiliate marketing. When I saw his pictures, I was just so inspired by how fun life looked for him.
Isn't that funny, Jose? That the one word that he picked out of that memory and how he felt about life would be exactly what Nicole would say about him. This little magic trick is pretty amazing, right? So he doesn't need to be tweaked in that realm at all. So David, that's a part of a technique that I do with people. And in Jose's case, we uncovered an entire reason why he was blocked and couldn't move forward. In your place, we go, yay, cool for you. Come back and teach us more.
Yeah, and you know, man, I was blocked when I first started online in 2013. When I this is why when I was telling my story and stuff that Nicole actually resonated with it was because.
Let me ask you another question. Is there anything tragic that happened in your life between age 7 and 15?
Between when?
7 and 15.
Oh man.
Okay, give me that one.
I don't know. I'm not the best at
you can't say I don't know. You can't say I don't know in my head, in my world. Does everybody continually to notice how quickly people go from I don't know? What the fuck? What is I don't? Of course you know. I mean, nobody else knows but you, which is ironic.
And 15.
From 7 to 15, anywhere along there that you go, man, that stood out as kind of a crazy little thing.
I got my bar mitzvah, and I was a man.
Did you make a lot of money that day?
What's that?
Did you make a lot of money that day?
I made a bunch of money. I made thousands of dollars, and I spent it on skateboards.
Was that a good investment?
Nope. Well, my parents held on to $2,000, and I spent the rest on skateboards, basically. No, it was not. Well, it was. It made me really happy.
Are you not married?
I am married.
Really? For how long?
Yeah. For a little over a year now.
Congratulations. How old are you?
I am 29.
Good.
I'm almost 30. I'm November 26th.
That's almost really old. No. Come on, everybody else.
I feel good.
Hey, dude, it's a joke for some of us who are pushing 60, okay?
You are very much alive for 60.
Yeah, no shit. I'm only 58, but I like playing the 60 card because it makes me go, wow, if 60 can look like that, you want my skin. Guys, did you hear what Shelly said yesterday, the line I coached her into? So Shelly is she's Asian. Hard to tell what Asian because she's just so damn pretty. And she's in a defense contracting negotiating job with countries. And when she said she just hates people asking her how old, she's like, this is fine. Just tell me you're 56. You just have really good Taiwanese skin products. Which kind of gets people off kilter. And you guys weren't in that because the same thing when my ex-husband had said when I did not want to breastfeed my children, probably too much information. But in Los Angeles, they have breastfeeding Nazis. What do you mean you're not breastfeeding? I'm like, Jesus Christ, your kid, stop, no. And so when somebody would ask me, hey, did you breastfeed are you breastfeeding? I'm like, no, I just want to be good friends. It got people to shut up. And very often that's kind of a cool thing. David, what's a question everybody asks you all the time?
Everybody with business or just friends?
Yeah, either. New people.
I think a lot of people always came to me because of just, like I said, since 2013 when I first started online, I got heavily into personal development and just that feeling of growth and just having a passion to become better, to be good. Ever since I was really young, I always wanted to make really positive differences in the world. And I had these visions of what I was going to do. And I think that people usually always come to me for wisdom, for some sort of guidance. And I think it's probably mostly because I'm very optimistic and I always see the bright side of things.
Right, because your whole decision about life is I want to have fun. Trust me, you were programmed to have fun. It's so hard for you not to.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Shonda Claxton is in the house. Girlfriend, how are you? God, it has been forever. Unmute your microphone. I don't think I've ever seen you on here.
I'm sorry. I totally slipped out at one point. No, yeah.
I like David Weber _passionate. Dude, you're awesome. You can come on the call anytime you want. We'll figure out how to make you some money.
Thank you.
We have edited your chapter. I think, did you send her chapter to be an entire book? Is that what you said about Shonda?
Oh, it's the entire.
Oh, wait, so Daphne, one of our editors, said what?
That was your chapter is begging to be a full book. You have only
Nice.
scratched the surface of where it needs
You know, I think I checked out the first time that someone had edited. It had hurt me that they had changed my story, and I was like, no, that's not the life that I live. And I was so hurt by it that I think I had cut it off.
Oh,
Because
baby, I checked. Okay, well, but okay. In defense, number one, I have some eye issues. The reading
Hey,
is very
David. So,
and I'm going to share with you that I didn't read what that ghostwriter read before I sent it back to everybody, thinking I'd read the final part of it. She took my entire book of people's chapters and made it into one story.
right.
I don't know what she did. So just so you know, we were also pretty surprised. We have gotten that under control. We've since hired the best.
Exactly. Because now that I've read it, I was like, okay, let me give this one more try. But I don't know why halfway through, I have so much that I would like to expound on. And I did feel like it was a full book. So I've only cracked it, but I haven't gotten to the point where, you know, I'm ready to jump. And I know, oh gosh, I know I need to, but I just
Well,
haven't.
I have not talked to you in a little while since Long Beach, my girl.
Life happened.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm excited to hear about that. I'm going to invite you onto our Wednesday call to share some of that.
Yeah, I thought this was like a whole nother program that I wasn't a part of. That's why I hadn't jumped on the calls, because it was a different title than I knew about.
Well, we're going to jump all over Chuck. So what we do on Thursday nights is Thursday night is an onboarding call. We invite our new people who should either be in Forbes Factor or Wednesday night coaching calls. So Ms. Shonda, my crew here has not heard from you. What is Forbes Factor? What does it mean to you?
You know, Forbes Factor for me was really cracking open that emotional bubble that we sometimes will try to put a wall up in front of to protect us, and that keeps us from being able to be 100% who we are because we're not really expressing it. But that whole connection that I think a lot of people are trying to do at this point with gaining followers or having products, because you're, as far as having a relationship with you, it's to become more of a financial brand somehow. And you have to be able to introduce yourself and connect yourself with other people. And the only way you do that is through that emotional connection. I had not gotten to the core of some of those emotions that I had unpacked while I was at Forbes Factor. And it was almost like a liberating feeling to say, you know what? I am Shonda, and it is okay. And all of these things that created this being who I am, all of these experiences, no one has had, but I can give this testimony of what it is to go through it. And when I say go through it, it's like whatever you have been in, there's somebody that may be going through it that has to have proof or confidence that they can get through it too. And until you are your true self, when you give yourself permission, that I you know, it's like giving it a title now that I can say I've given myself permission.
You know what? Yeah, wait. So I got to stop. Chuck, you got to hear this. Listen, put your ear in. Shonda, when you went through Forbes Factor, we did not have a permission card, did we?
The silver one. The silver one.
Yes, we did not have that in Long Beach. It had not been created yet. So for you to actually talk about giving yourself permission is blowing my mind right now. That was not.
Remember, I won one. They were hot off the press.
All right, maybe that's what it was. They had just come out. But I love the fact that you're still hanging on to the concept of giving yourself permission, because that is still so paramount. And I love that you're still
carrying it with me everywhere I go.
You know what? You know what Stacy got permission to do? In the last 120 days, she had permission to lose 75 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Without a diet.
Congratulations.
Come on, Stacy. How did Forbes Factor change your life?
Just with Forbes' belief and support, and because I'd felt alone for so long, and she came alongside, and that gave me what I was missing. And so I ran with it.
It has been amazing. Miss Joni, you have gone through some fun stuff. Hey, are you taking the vacation or are you going to speak for 10 minutes? What's the verdict?
No, see, I already said I can't go before I spoke with you. So I bailed out an hour later. So when you said that, I should have called you before I made that decision.
Well, then you know what? Then you go with it. Then for whatever reason, it was not supposed to happen.
And I am going with it, and I'm good with it because a lot of other great things are happening, so I can't complain.
Good, and I'm glad that you don't. And I'll tell you what, as a survivor of 9/11 and as somebody who witnessed the shooting in Las Vegas, you either turn left or turn right, and that meant death. I'm pretty good with whatever the universe goes, okay, that works for us. Don't lament it. Don't want it to be different. Don't regret it. Somebody asked me a question today about, I was having a big investor meeting. It's something about anything I might regret in my career. And I said, there's only one thing I ever regretted. And it was one moment in time. And it had to do with sleeping with the right people. And the story goes that George Clooney was standing over there. And I was so shy at the time. I wanted to just say hi. And every girl who ever kissed George Clooney became famous. How did Stacy Keibler get on Dancing with the Stars, right? That's what it would have taken. And I just didn't do it. That's the only regret that I have. Everything else I'm pretty good with. Hashtag me too. Damn. No, just kidding. Anyway, but that's so I don't, anyway, you know what? You really have to go, thank God I made a left, not a right. There was a car accident. There was this, there was that. Joni, you're not supposed to be on the trip, but I'm totally cool with that. And that is about life happening for you, not to you. Embrace the good, the bad, the confusing, as just this is the journey. Hey, Miss Leah Holmes, you are sitting very far away from us in a hat, feeling very distant. What's going on?
Oh, I just came back in to my house from helping out with my uncle who just came home from the hospital, and I was running grocery errands, and it just kind of threw my mind off a little bit, but I'm here.
That is totally okay. I was just checking in with you.
Thank you.
Jose, do me a favor. Look at your screen and figure out yeah, there you are, brother. Hi, baby. All right, are we all set for Marketers Cruise? We're all going to have some fun there? I invited a bunch of people today. Justin, I talked to Molsky. Everything good with you guys, or we need to keep figuring out? Good. We're going to make some serious money. If anyone is not in the book.
Send me the letters.
Oh, shoot. You know what? All right, do me a favor. Resend them. I've got 600 emails between you and then. Let me just do that right now. What is that? What is that?
It's a first sketch for the shorts.
Oh, nice. Josh was going for Mr. World. Why don't you just put that winner right in there somewhere, embedded on the muscle god or whatever it is. So a couple of things I'm going to put out there. So number one, Forbes Factor in February is almost completely sold out. I have a couple of tickets that I'm reserving because I will meet people that I just want to make sure they get in the room, but you know how small the room is. So if there's anybody that you think needs to go through this, please recommend it. Have them reach out to us. The book, Daphne's down to her very last interview, which is going to be me. We're good. It is an amazing calling card for you guys. There are 30 authors at the moment, all who've been through Forbes Factor, all who have our same sensibility. When you want to speak or talk, this is your calling card. Feel free to use my name and go, you know what? I'm with the $2.5 billion host. I just saw my picture. Where did I just see this? I'm speaking at something in November 1st. December 1st. You know what? Big picture of me, no other women whatsoever. There's like 32 guys. There's about to be a very loud shift somewhere. I would be on the boat that's shifting. Very small investment, very big return. I'm going to push the shit out. Johnny, you've been in since day one. Chuck and I have worked our asses off on this. It's been challenging. The hardest book I've done so far. Daphne's been a lifesaver. And you're going to want to read these stories. Some of them should be movies. It's really good. I just read, okay, and you want to hear what's interesting too? Watch this. This is what you don't want to do. You don't want to be a part of a million faces that look like pinheads, okay? This is what you don't want to do. This is what my dear friend, I'm not going to tell you who this is, but here's his idea of a chapter. That's what you get, that one side. And then it is that you get that, like half a page, and then your bio. For $6,500. You get one page, you get literally that little page, and there's your bio. That's all you got. Don't do that. We tell amazing stories. We have good points. One of you Forbes lately is going to become a huge national brand. I would get on the boat. I'm very excited about this. Then I have a question for all my fans out here as I'm having some, when you become popular, and I wish this on all of you, you're going to have haters. Yeah. So I would like your advice. When I do some of my Facebook Lives, I am silly. I'm going to try not to taint this at all, but I might lift up my man's shirt. I might run my fingers along the bumps he calls a six-pack. I might ooh and ogle at his shoulders and have some serious fun because he is the physically most beautiful man I've ever seen. Am I embarrassing you guys?
No, I think you should do what makes you feel good.
Well, because today that made me cry when someone said this to me. So feel free to let me know if what I'm doing is embarrassing any of you guys, because that's not the point. It was very, very hateful and very hurtful. I don't think that Joshua looks like my son. I think my son looks like my son. Thank you, Monk. And I think if you are a sexy enough, amazing woman who can entice and find a man who writes what he did the other day on Facebook to tell me how much he loves me publicly, let me tell you something. I'm not rich enough for this to be an issue. He's after you for your money. I'm like, baby, let me tell you something. Yeah, no, I think looking like that, he has a large pond to fish in if he wanted to. I don't believe that that's what he wants. I believe he's amazing. Today was really, really hurtful and said with a lot of malice to hurt me. And if I, as my friends and my team members, if I do something that embarrasses you, let me know. And Jose, I am doing what I love. I am, for the first time in my life, found a man who cares about me in a way I've never experienced.
If you do something to embarrass us, that would be our issue, not yours.
Yes.
Well,
I agree,
actually,
John.
no, hang on a second. That's not quite true. It's about you guys maybe keeping me in check because sometimes I'm liable to do something. I honestly don't care except from this person and the way it was said. Apparently I do care because it was very mean-spirited and it was very personal and very close to home and meant with all the malice this person could muster.
So Forbes, is it a post that we would be able to comment on?
No. This was not a post. This was a person in my life who set out to hurt me.
Oh.
Yeah, no, this is not a post. This is not a public person. This is a person who set out to hurt me.
I think if somebody like that sees how happy you've been, I mean, I've seen your guys' videos, your stuff, I follow you a lot, and they see the happiness that you guys are together, and they do that intentionally, then why would you even want them in your life?
Well, maybe your ex-husband doesn't want you to be happy.
I was going to say that.
I knew it.
They don't get. I mean, anyone when they see you guys together or see anything, you could tell it 100%.
Because it hurts.
Well, but apparently people in my hometown are, telling him how embarrassed they are for me. And again, here's the thing. I just wanted to check in because I have 2 kids. It does affect everybody. I'm in a small town. And I'm a big person. And the way he said it, I don't believe is true, but it still hurt,
Welcome to divorce.
Yeah, we've both decided that he's just really upset because he sees you happy and he'll do anything to try and get in your way of that. And by other things you've told me as well in the last couple of days, that's definitely self-evident. And I mean, I don't know that I'd worry about it too much. I think that he needs somebody else in his life.
Forbes, I went through this exact same thing. As soon as the ex saw that I was starting to be happy, he was giving me a hard time, talking shit to my kids, talking shit to all the people we knew. It was really, really hard. And the hardest part about divorce is dividing everybody you knew from your past and separating yourself. And
no, actually, that's the easiest part. We've been separated for 15 years. You guys don't actually understand. That's not the hard part. I have
Forbes.
Friends. I know.
Forbes.
But I do. But hang on a second. Okay, let's be a little more realistic here. I am a woman of a certain age who is dating a man 17 years younger, and on the surface, to my community, apparently it looks really bad. And now, I just want you guys. Now you know him, but I would also say that Tom was running around with a big-breasted blonde bimbo, and he said, well, she's the nicest person in the world, and I love her. And I'm going, but she looks stupid next to you. I don't think that was actually meant to hurt him as much as trying to help him. He thinks he's helping me. I just want to make sure I don't look like a stupid, like a,
Wow.
you know.
Keep in mind.
Yeah, I love seeing you in love. I love seeing you in love. And
me too.
And I think it's awesome because I love being in love. And to see what you have is a beautiful thing, and don't let anyone put that down.
Okay.
It's just called divorce, Forbes.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a process. And separation, I was 10 years, doesn't matter. Because that's different. Separation, divorce is divorce.
Yeah, totally.
I also think, but it's also funny. So yes, that is one component. Two, we're experiencing ageism. Have you ever imagined that you could be prejudiced against because you're too beautiful? That's what Joshua deals with all day long.
Yes.
It's weird. I'm like, oh my, remember, I don't know if you're in class with Kinsey, right? Kinsey used to walk around going, people just hate me because I'm so pretty. And at times it was like, all right, hard to listen to this. Can you just stop saying how pretty you are? Because she was pretty, but she's not, well, that's not fair. Joshua is that guy. And I got to tell you, either love him, you stare at him, or you hate one. It's weird. It's oh, yes. Yeah, you know what? You can send David a picture of him. And so I just want to make sure that you guys go, all right, you guys look good. You know, you don't look like his mother. I don't know. And partly I don't care. You guys are my friends, and you're dealing, and you watched a lot. And for some reason it does hurt.
Well, Forbes, like you said, if it makes you happy, you asked for him exactly as he is, and you got it.
I know. I'm very much in love.
Why would you let anybody else have that much power over your stuff? Don't let people walk in your head like that. I mean, you don't let people come in with dirty shoes to your house. The same reason you're asking the same thing in your head. You got exactly what you wanted, and he you could tell that you're exactly what he wants too. You can see that all over the place.
Thank you.
You're perfect together.
Yeah.
I needed this. I'm going to keep this recording because I got to tell you,
He's right on time with this activity. That's all I got to say. That's just how people act that are in that position.
Hey, Forbes, he's doing
Yeah.
the best he can.
Sorry? What did you say?
He's doing the very best he can.
I love when you guys use my own shit against me.
That's why you're divorcing Forbes. He's a shit.
You know,
Yes, he is a shit, and we all seem to now know that. Man, it is just...
also, Forbes, keep in mind how accurate he was about the statement he made about Mary.
Oh, he stood by that. I told her that, and he just wouldn't he wouldn't go off that either.
Right, but he was absolutely 100% wrong.
Right.
And also, you're spending too much time on it.
Oh, no, I just spent 4 hours sitting with... No, you don't understand. It just happened today. I don't want to spend any time on it.
Yeah. I mean, just... It'll suck.
Like he will suck the life out of you? Yeah.
Just let it go. You don't need to don't give it that much attention.
My husband's 14 years older than I. And
there you go.
And I love it. And people said things to me, and it was hurtful, but you know what? He's
What's his name?
21 years later, and it doesn't affect me.
My dad and my mom were 20 years apart, and his other wife was 40 years apart. He was 80.
What did he score?
Well, thank you all for that. Like I said, I just want to make sure that,
Hugh Jackman's wife is 14 years older than him.
Thank you. So for David here, that's who we're talking about.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is awesome, damn it.
I think
Don't even stunt that no more. Now that I see what he's done. You have to choose who you value your opinions. And that's not somebody you need to value his opinion.
Thank you. I value that man's opinion.
Exactly.
David's just going, I'm sorry, I just wanted to. But actually, you know what? That's actually not true. This is what I value, and I got a lot of those.
Exactly.
I have ones of him just hugging me. I'm crazy in love. And I'm going to plan an amazing wedding when this is all done, because I just want to celebrate the fact that these two people were so hurt, the two of us, and found something so amazing.
We'll keep an eye out for that invitation, Forbes.
Yeah, well, we'll have to let the ink dry on the divorce shit first. Yeah, I can't. And I don't want to say anything as we're recording, so I have to be very careful, just in case one of you just wants to.
I can
Anyway,
pause.
Love you, and we're so happy that you're happy.
well, thank you, and that's the crazy thing. Yeah, how crazy is that? I'm actually happy. God damn it! I spent all this time making everyone else happy. I transformed somebody today. Man, had a huge impact on his life. Just, it was very funny. I sat with this gentleman who's got a lot of money and a lot of potential. And his brother, when he was younger, put two fingers in his butt and masturbated on his back. It's all his brother did, and it's caused him trauma his whole entire life. And this guy's also had a gun stuck to his head, all kind of crazy shit. And actually, this is an interesting story. He got involved with some crazy bad people, and it wasn't until they were going to kill him and he got on his phone with his brother to try and save his life, that it dawned on him at age 24 what had actually happened when he was 7 years old. He hadn't remembered. And ironically, him remembering that on the phone is actually what saved his life, because the guys told him to go back and kill his brother.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and he didn't. And today, for the very first time, he's in his 50s. And it's funny because sitting next to him was this big clinical doctor who said to me, "Why do people do this in public? Why do they let you, go through all that with him?" I'm like, I don't know why. I said, I do it everywhere. I do it at grocery stores. I don't know what happens. It just happens. When the movement strikes me and people do it and they go through it, and it's brilliant. And with that, something happened. Next thing you know, my guy is yelling and screaming at his brother. And he went into a state, man. He almost tore one of my pillows to shreds with the anger, because he said, I'm fine. I let my brother go. We're fine. I'm thinking, you're so not fine, dude. You are so not there. And he went to town on this pillow. He almost ripped the thing to shreds. And you would have loved it, the energy, the power, the whatever. And then when I said to him, you have to thank your brother and say, I love you, he almost threw up. We went through all the I love you part, and it dawned on him that he's who he is because of all the shit that this man put him through. This guy is now a CEO of a major Fortune 100 company, the brother. And he walked outside, and I said, call your dad. Call your brother. And he did. About an hour later, he comes to me and says, my brother called me back. He said, he's nicer than he's ever been to me my whole life. We actually had a conversation. And I said, isn't it funny? When you change the way you look at something, that thing changes. Your brother didn't change. You did. Every fiber of you changed. And all of a sudden, your brother was completely different on the phone. How crazy is that? So take that with you. And that's the same. I'm also dealing with all of this in my own personal life. It's why I'm in love as I am, because I've done some major, major work on me. I now have a group of people I could ask this very vulnerable question to tonight that I would have never, there's two ways to deal with it tonight, Monk. I could have said, fuck you, and walked on, which would have been a good old MO for me. Or I could have had a vulnerable moment and say, wait a second, you know what, Forbes, test the waters here. Are you in the right space, or people? Because you guys feel free if you say, you know what, Forbes, maybe you shouldn't be, having your shirt off all the time. I don't know. Or maybe you go, fuck it. If you're 58 and you look like that, go for it. That's what I'm feeling. But I also have 2 kids in the house. And I don't want to, or you cross over that 50 line. Let me tell you something. Hallelujah. You lose all editorial. By the time I get as old as you are, I won't give you no. Just with age comes freedom. Yes, age comes freedom.
I'm sorry. I will say something. I went to my good friend's house tonight, and you know what they said to me? They said, wow, you're really coming around. You're doing great. You're different. And I said, because I have a mentor. Her name is Forbes Riley. And that happened tonight. And I feel great. And I'm so different because of you. So thank you.
Thank you. And that's what he doesn't see and doesn't know. Thank you. I needed that. And I know you guys all feel that way, or you wouldn't be on the call. We put a lot of time and energy into each other. I think this is different from everything else. I love Doug tonight, I will tell you though, but I never want to listen to a speech again. I always want it to be this interactive, this real. I don't have time for anything else. I also have time for people who are not going to commit 100%. You guys are amazing. This is a pretty small but pretty mighty group. We're going to continue and grow this, but you were at the core. You were when all this started. I'm not a business person that does things by the rules. I made my own rules, but I know what works. I always have. It's how I've gotten where I am. And so here's to the next part of that journey, and let it be so fucking big. And I will tell you, success is the best revenge. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk around with my half-naked man. I got Halloween coming up. He's dressed in a little slavery outfit. I'm good. You know what? And wait, I'm speaking of come here for a second. David, come say hi to him. Come here.
Make sure he has his shirt off.
Slow down, Nicole.
Oh, wait, let me run. It makes everything so much better. I know you're dying.
Hi, everybody.
That's his second workout for today. You got what, less than a week left to go?
Awesome.
I've never met anybody who works harder in their whole life. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And by the way, now we need to do something David has no idea. Nicole, what's the song going to be? I'm going to everybody get your spin gym out. Let's blow David's mind about what we do in this group. We do things that no one's ever imagined because we need a name. We're like the Wolverines, but that's not quite it. We're like the Spinnerines. I don't know. What are we going to call it?
The Spinnerines.
I need a name.
Spin Masters.
Spin Masters. Sounds like you're alone in the room with a jar of Vaseline. I'm a spin master. Watch me spin this thing. Spin on it, baby. No, that's. I'm sorry. That was just terrible. Now you are embarrassing. Yes, you are spin-tastic. I know. I pushed the line, Dave, like I was gonna be part of your group, and now you guys are not. Come on, YouTube. Come on, give me some sugar. Give me a song. It's a good song.
What about like? I've been in an oldies kick. I'm walking on sunshine. Hey!
You know, you are really lovely, and I'm going to go completely in a different direction. And I want a. And where's my spin? I need a pink one right there, and I'm going to give it some like nasty energy. This is my nasty energy song. Didn't even make it. Come on, here we go. I want some serious muscles at all costs.
I don't have any reason.
That's what I want. Yes. This is not it. That's how I feel. Spin jump. The question is, how bad do you want? What are you willing to do to get whatever it is that you want?
I failed.
What did you just say? Come on, Jose. Where's your spin jam? What?
I left it at my work. I was using it this morning at the office, and I left it there.
Oh my God! Order another one. Oh my God! Really? Come on, Casey, work that out. Go, girl. Yeah, come on, there you go. And so David's going, what the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing? You know what we're doing, David? We're showing that you cannot sit for an hour at a time and become a fat storing machine. No, you grab this and you make arms like that. There's those arms.
What? How big is his biceps?
How big are your biceps? Big enough. I can't see it. I can't.
I look a bit different. I'm not ready to compete. I'm eating whatever I want.
You're only competing with yourself. It's okay.
That's right. I'm gaining weight. You got those things, good resistance?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
They are great.
I've never tried one, but I've seen them a whole bunch now since Nicole's all over the place.
All right, and on that note, you guys rock. David's going to have to get you a spin gym because I will tell you, one of the absolute coolest products in the entire world. And you know how hot and sexy Nicole looks? Oh my God, when you do this, you make my mouth water. It's so cool. And I'm totally straight, which is weird, but I just love how this girl looks.
Yeah. Yep,
All right, guys.
Nicole is a gem.
She's amazing, and so are you. I
Yep.
appreciate your content. Thank you. You're welcome to come anytime you want. Wednesday's pretty much our content day, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome, and we are blessed. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Right. Hey.